So now we'll move into our reading, and the reading that was chosen for today is Meditation by Richard S. Gilbert. The human race is a vast rainbow, white, black, red, brown, bursting into view. Yet for all, blood is red, the sky is blue, the earth brown, the night dark. In size and shape, we are a varied pattern of tall and short, slim and stout, elegant and plain. Yet for all there are fingers to touch, hearts to break, eyes to cry, ears to hear, mouths to speak. In tongue, we are a tower of Babel, a great jumble of voices grasping for words, groping for ways to say love, peace, pity, and hope. Faiths compete, claiming the one way. Saviors abound, pointing to salvation. Not all can be right, not one. We are united only by our urge to search. Boundaries divide us, lines drawn to mark our diversity, maps charted to separate the human race from itself. Yet, a mother's grief, a father's love, a child's happy cry, a musician's sound, an artist's stroke, batter the boundaries and shatter the walls. Strength and weakness, arrogance and humility, confidence and fear live together in each one, reminding us that we share a common humanity. We are all more human than otherwise.
Like everyone else I knew, I'd had enough of orange. The ubiquitous orange of the 1970s was nothing to adore anymore. In the 70s, it seemed as if, stay with me here, every wall, couch, chair, footstool, bar stool, curtain, drape, pantsuit, bedspread, shag carpet, wall hanging, macrame plant holder, ashtray, table lamp, and light fixture swinging precariously from the ceiling had to be orange. By 1983, we were over it. But then one morning, I was early for the bus, a rarity. I set myself on the front stoop and waited. I had nothing in the whole wide world to do. Even then, in the 8th grade, I knew almost nothing about having nothing to do. I don't know if I'd ever just parked myself on the front stoop and watched the world, the sun, the sky, orange. Orange like everything was possible. Orange like being and longing to be. Orange like feeling fine, but way better than fine. Orange like budding. Orange like reaching. Orange like coming alive. And so I was converted. This I called my orange day. I've had other orange days since. Many I've found with you right here in this place. In fact, this day right here, right now, is feeling a whole lot like an orange day. An orange day isn't perfect, yet it's complete. It is what it is, and it is what it could be. There's nothing quite like an orange day, yet everything is something like an orange day. I came to love those words, orange day. Even the words orange day could start to bring an orange day on. Those were words I loved. But have you ever had a word that got under your skin? Maybe it grated on your nerves or made you crack up or you wanted to tip a table over whenever you heard it. In the days of Dragon Jane, my performance art company, one of our founding members, I apologize in advance, hated the word gasped. She would say it with 3 hilarious yet extremely grating syllables. I gasped, she gasped, we gasped. My version of gasped came to me in high school. My word of annoyance was a word I'd heard so much it lost all meaning. It became abstracted from any context. just a series of sounds that could have meant anything and came to mean nothing. It's not a funny word, but to this day, I still stifle back a chuckle when I say it. Album. That's it, that's my word, nothing profound. But I heard it all the time. Oingo Boingo album, Duran Duran album, Twisted Sister album, Spandau Ballet album, Eurythmics album, Van Halen album, Run DMC album. Even classical masterpieces came out on albums. Album. It didn't sound anything like music. In fact, the more I heard it, the less like music it sounded to me. Naturally, I tried other words in the privacy of my own mind. Compilation? No, I was 16. Collection? No. Thankfully, CDs came out at about that time. So ironic. I didn't like the signifier, album, the word, but I often loved the signified, the music the word described. I can't help thinking about the famous Zen koan about the finger and the moon, which our story this morning was extremely loosely based upon. Truth is like the moon. Words are like a finger. A finger can point to the moon, but do not confuse the moon with the finger. Oh, people are nodding. Oh. So here we go. Okay, I think some of you agree with me before I've even said it. I think this is a central claim of our tradition, our Unitarian Universalist tradition. In our tradition, the truth of life is so magnificent. The essence of life is so magnificent that many signifiers, many words are needed to do it justice, are needed to honor the power, beauty, breadth, expanse, and struggle of life. Now, please keep breathing as we celebrate wind and air. For me, a word for this truth, this essence of life, is God. I like that word, God. Some of you may be cringing a little or a lot, as if I've just said gasped, or worse, album. Others here, this is what I've heard from others here so far. Others might say higher power, Buddha nature, great mother, spirit, the human heart, community, life. And there are other words, other signifiers and fingers I look forward to hearing yet. The signifying here in this sanctuary is widely diverse. My finger doesn't always point exactly like your finger. Your finger doesn't always point exactly like the finger next to you. That's the nature of democracy, which we honor in many ways, and specifically in our fifth UU principle. By listening to many voices, particularly the voices of the marginalized that have been silenced or drowned out, we see the moon, the truth of life, more clearly. So this gets to a question I've thought about a lot. Does this mean that all fingers are always pointing at the truth? I don't believe so. So here's an analogy. I believe some fingers sometimes point in the opposite direction, so please understand this as an analogy. For instance, those who claim the Holocaust did not exist aren't pointing to an alternate valid truth. They're pointing to a falsehood that we can understand as a falsehood by listening to the voices from the margins whose experiences tell us about the reality of the Holocaust. So, we discern the truth as best we can, and we choose to stand on the side of love. Because Unitarian Universalism means something to us, or better yet even, because life means something to us. And Unitarian Universalism helps us express the value, the meaning, the bounty of life. This may be as close to a creed as we are ever likely to get. Life matters, you matter, we matter, and by we mean all of us here on earth. In the big picture, this is our truth, our way of describing the moon. We see it, we find it, by listening to courageous people who are trying to cross the border. We respond, led by our youth, in organizing a sock drive for migrants, because the lives, the feet of struggling people matter. We listen to people who mourn loved ones who've died of suicide, joining together in body or spirit to walk for suicide prevention. In numerous ways, we honor their memory, because their lives matter, even after they're gone. Sometimes, maybe often, we are the people who struggle to be heard, pointing to the truth that we each need help, we each need love, even when we feel lost and alone, especially when we feel lost and alone, grieving over a loved one's death, fretting over a loved one's health, worrying over a stack of bills, railing against another injustice, nursing a broken heart. We matter. This truth that life matters, this is our moon. I hope, and frankly, I pray that we can honor this moon enough, trust this moon enough, that we can really keep listening to each other, risking to point with our own vulnerable fingers. As much as I love our tradition, I recognize that this tradition even is not the moon. Still, I'm not sure how to find the moon without it. For me, this community here is a deeply spiritual place. As you probably know, spirit comes from the Latin spiritus, breath. We breathe together here. We conspire, together breathe. We conspire for a more just world. Even though I like spirituality, I'm learning from those who say this word for them means literally nothing. Maybe I say spirit and you say heart. Maybe I say spiritual and you say meaningful. Maybe I say God and you say community. Maybe I say orange day and you say red day, yellow, indigo, blue. I am grateful for the rainbow of our fingers and the moon. Maybe I say love, and maybe you say love too.